Hello friends! In this tutorial, I'll show you how to sew these super flowy skirt pants or palazzo pants. We've already drafted the pattern and you'll find that link in the upper right corner and in the description. These pants took me less than an hour and a half to make. And the best part, you don't need any complicated closures or a zipper. You can wear them just as they are with the elastic waistband or add a belt for a more polished, elegant look. And no one will ever know there's elastic underneath. Let's get started! When I drafted these, I made sure to leave enough room through the hips. You really don't want this style to be tight around the hips, especially with an elastic waist. Otherwise, it can look fitted at the hips and then bunch up at the waist. The whole idea is to keep it loose and flowy from the top so the fabric falls smoothly and beautifully. Fabric choice. I used cotton because I wanted to show that you can still get a great result even with a fairly stiff fabric. But honestly, don't use cotton or linen for these unless you're anorexic and you want to look twice your size. Go for something lightweight, thin, and very drapey. I'll put names of those fabrics here because I don't think I will be able to pronounce them. So you want something that flows instead of like standing away from the body. And pay attention to the prints as well. Avoid huge, bold motifs. They can also make you look twice your size. A small or medium print, like tiny dots or a softer all-over pattern, works much better. That's actually why my cotton pair still looks pretty good, because the print keeps all that volume from looking overwhelming. These pants actually don't use as much fabric as you might expect, especially for such a full flowy style. The yardage is approximate, but it usually doesn't vary too much. If your inseam is much shorter than 34-35 inches, of course you'll need a little less fabric. I never add seam allowances directly to my drafted patterns. I just like having a little room to change things if I need to. Normally, to save time for these pants, if I had enough fabric, I would have added a 2-inch allowance at the top and simply folded it over instead of making a separate casing. I usually use 1/2 inch seam allowances on the sides, and I would use 1 inch at the bottom so I can do a double 1/2 inch fold for a nice stable hem. And that, remember, we included that in the pattern drafting, but apparently I've been pretty lucky with running out of fabric lately. So this time I had to make a separate casing again. You can absolutely do that too, and some people like a separate casing better, but if you have enough fabric, the easiest option is just to add that 2 inches at the top and fold it over. If you do end up using a separate casing, you'll need roughly 1 to 1.5 yards of a 2.5-inch wide strip, depending on your size. And since it's such a narrow strip, you can usually cut it from leftover fabric. And of course, if you decide to make things more complicated, you can always add pockets. You probably will be okay with just the leftover fabric. With right sides together, pin the 2 back pieces along the crotch seam, then do the same with the 2 front pieces. Stitch, take the pins out, overlock, turn, and press. Now take the back piece. You should already have that center back seam stitched and finished and pressed open, and place it on top of the front, right sides together. And we're going to work on the inseams first. Match them up, pin them together, and then stitch. Then overlock, turn the pants right side out and press. And make sure the seam allowances are pressed towards the back, away from the front. Next, we'll do the side seams. Turn the pants inside out, Match and pin the sides together, then stitch, overlock, and press with the seam allowances facing towards the back. If you already know the length you want, you can hem the pants now and leave the waistband and the casing for last. You can simply overlock the edge and turn it up, but personally, I think it looks much nicer folded up twice, pressed really well, and then stitched in place. Always give everything a really good press. To attach the casing, measure around the top edge first, then measure the same length on your casing and trim off any extra. Sew the two short ends together to make a loop. Press that seam open, overlock one long edge, and then attach the right side of the casing to the right side of the pants. After you stitch the casing to the pants, flip it over the top edge to the inside and first press it from the casing side and make sure the seam rolls just slightly to the inside. Then turn the pants over and press again from the outside for a really clean finish. And this little seam, it should be hidden. It should be more on the inside. Once everything is nicely pressed, stitch 3 rows around the casing, spacing them about half an inch apart. And make sure to leave a small opening in each row for the elastic. Then carefully thread the elastic through each channel, one at a time. Stitch the ends of each elastic together securely, and once all 3 are in place, close the openings. And that's it! Your palazzo pants are finished and ready to wear. I didn't add pockets this time, even though I was tempted to, but you can absolutely add them if you want. They're very easy to make, just give yourself about another hour or so. And if you're a beginner, this is honestly one of those projects that's quick, simple, and gives you such a beautiful result. Have fun making your own palazzo pants. Don't forget to click on like, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!